Texting, right, tally who, 609er, I'm in. Talk to me, Goose. Hey, how are you, mate? Well, welcome to a Monday from a sack, a warm, dare I say.
Actually, yes.
It's quite nice this evening. This is comfortable, I would say.
Before you begin, could I give Patrick Mahomes' father a tutorial on lighting a cigar really quick?
If you feel you must.
Okay, so the key to lighting a cigar, I'm smoking a Java Drew Estate, whatever that is.
Java Drew Estate.
So big key to it, you have to either cut or punch or, do something to get the cap off the edge of the cigar, get air flowing through it. Then, as you light it, to try to, give it an even burn. Then when you puff on it, the air pulls through.
And then
you have yourself a beautifully lit cigar.
there you go.
So, Mr. Mahomes, former Met pitcher, let's go Mets, let's go Chiefs.
Oh, that's why. Now it comes out.
But learn how to light a cigar to celebrate your son.
Now it comes out. I knew there was an
Pat Mahomes Sr. pitched for the Mets.
There's no way. I was like, so one day this man tells me, I like Pat Mahomes, and didn't explain himself. Well, that answer just came out. Anyway.
Dude, he went to the podium in a Mets jersey the other day.
I wasn't watching.
Love it.
Anyway, segment one.
Earlier.
Welcome to IDD. For those of you who know, I don't disagree on a Monday. That is the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo. I am the highly questioned one, Arjun Miliaccio. Segment one, NFL recap, Championship Sunday. I got to tell you, letdown.
Yeah, big letdown.
The potential was there. In one case, it really was nobody's fault. It was just it happened in the course of a game. And, of course, I'm alluding to Brock Purdy in the first drive of the fucking game after he'd gone 4 for 4 and they were moving the ball. And then, well, that ended that.
and then when you thought maybe there was still hope after that,
yeah,
Josh Johnson got slammed on the ground.
Yeah, he gets a concussion. Well, after he fumbled the ball to him in the hands,
right.
that was really where it changed.
Yeah, that was the
end right there.
The end of the game.
Because Philly put 7 up on that. And you can't.
In actuality, the end of the game was when Brock Purdy got hurt.
Well, it was 7-7.
I know.
With 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, and then he scored 14 points.
I know.
Before that.
But Brock Purdy getting hurt is the first domino that basically started.
It was the first domino. It wasn't the straw that broke.
It was the main domino, though. It was the.
I think it was his fumble. The turnover. He went from.
Have been in there if it wasn't for the first.
I'm just saying it was 14-7. It was 3rd and 3. It was a highly. They were moving the ball a little bit, and then that happened. And Philly, being Philly, because they're a good team, capitalized, and that was the backbreaker right there.
Too many times Hassan Reddick just. Allowed to run right at the quarterback.
If we're being honest here, because I know I've been following the chat boards. I'm sure he's been peeking himself around the national the chat boards, because there's NFL chat rooms, and I got news for you: the overwhelming takeaway from this weekend was disappointment, because these games did not live up to and the thing about the KC Cincinnati game was that was on the verge of living up to its billing, and then and then what? The penalty. Which was a penalty.
The roughing?
That was it. 15 yards, field goal, game over. That game, there was 8 seconds left, no timeouts. So if they even get one play, that's not enough time. All they do is make one stop, and they're going to overtime. And then that game has a chance to be epic. No, but it never materialized.
But it was a 60-yard field goal from where he would have been. That 8 seconds. They have 6 seconds to throw a 15-yard pass and get out of bounds. Not saying it would have been completed, because it's the only pass you can throw.
If you're Cincinnati, you're letting them run a little longer, because they have to still get up and spike the ball. Well, the farther they go to run, it was only 8 seconds.
No. You got to catch and get out.
No, but if you're Cincy, you're covering the sideline. You're letting them throw over the middle of the field. You're protecting.
I understand, but I'm saying they had time to get 15 yards.
They did, but it would have been like one play if they were lucky.
Right, one play. Since he would have had to be boneheaded, which they
well, that play before proved that they were. It never even came down.
But here's the thing, I'll take that back. I don't think that was boneheaded. I think that was, holy shit. There's 10 seconds left. I can't let him get the sideline. and just
already out of bounds.
frantically starts chasing him and just totally, he's gone.
He was
ahead.
pursuing him like he should have been. But when he went out of bounds, one of his teammates had already clipped him on the leg with just a pat. He should have known then he was out of bounds.
He didn't even have time to think about that. I think he lost his shit. He was like, I got to get this guy. And he took off as fast as he could. And, you know, there was no thoughts going through. That's why he didn't have the presence to pull up. It was just, I got to get there. I think that's what happened. He knew.
Okay.
You know, I don't know that it was like, you're undisciplined. I think it was, you know, sometimes
how many times have we seen this
too much
this year? How many times have we seen that penalty this year? Let's be honest.
lot.
Do we even know the number?
No.
So that's the problem. And this is why I said I go to undisciplined. You think that these guys don't see these freaking highlights? You think they don't know? They've been watching it all year long. This isn't like it's preseason. This kid's a first, you know, it's his first year. He's a rookie.
Yeah, but
this isn't that.
But my point is, in the AFC Championship game, with 8 seconds left, game tied, you're trying to make sure Mahomes doesn't get up the sideline. You over pursue. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like.
Do you know why they make that line so thick and big and white? So you can't miss it. Okay? Even in a fucking monsoon, you can see those fucking lines. Okay? That's how big and fat and white they are. You can't fucking miss them.
But you could see them in a monsoon, but in a moment where your mind is a monsoon.
Look, that
and
play,
you're just like, fuck, I gotta get him. He lost all his shit. He wasn't thinking.
I have seen that penalty so many fucking times this year. I am done giving anyone the benefit of the doubt. Because if I've seen it, they've seen it. Okay?
This is not benefit of the doubt.
Well, then what you're saying is he pooped in his pants. Is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Poop, 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 poop.
Yes.
What does that say about him? He can't impress you.
He's normal.
No.
Yes.
If it was normal, they wouldn't pay. First of all, if it was normal, everybody could do what they do. At that level. It's not normal.
Look, he didn't poop his pants and go, oh, I can't play.
You're saying that.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I said he didn't poop his pants and go, oh, no, what did I do? He said, oh, shit, I got to get there. Right? And everything else flew out of his head. I'm not saying it was a good play. It's not like, oh, this fucking idiot doesn't know what he's doing kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like he was trying too damn hard. Like, chill out, dog. You pursued him to the sideline. You don't have to fucking, run like you're going to run through the fucking bench.
He has to cut off the angle or he gets more yards upfield. He had cut off the angle. He was out of bounds. Exactly. He did his job. He didn't have to touch him.
That's why I said he was doing too much.
He didn't have to touch him. He was already out of bounds.
Doing too much.
If you want to give him a pass on this, you go right ahead. I'm not saying that one play cost them the game, but it was part of it.
Is that giving it a pass?
I think you're making an excuse for a professional athlete who has seen that happen 1,000 times this year alone. And if he literally...
I'm just saying I think that's what happened. It's not an excuse. I think that's what happened.
I'm not excusing the professional for that. That's why he's a professional, to know that shit. It's that fucking simple. And it's not like it's a new fucking rule. It's not like this is the first time it ever happened. Okay? It happens every Sunday. Think about it.
Right.
Multiple times. All over the fucking league.
So professionals.
The point is...
That's what I'm saying.
He has no excuse. He's in the biggest game of the year. This is where you can't have those mistakes. You have those mistakes. You go home like he is. He's at home crying in his beer. Because you can't make that fucking mistake in the AFC Championship game.
Did you see the one guy standing next to him in the locker room?
Yeah.
BJ Hill?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I thought it was he did what I would have done. And I think what you would have done. Console him.
Yeah, but you're sitting here saying the guy's a fucking idiot.
I'm not gonna in the moment. I'm not gonna kick him when he's down.
Well, what do you think? Oh, so you think at this point he's
the
good?
bottom line is he is a fucking idiot because he committed a penalty. Look, he could be the greatest guy in the world. Forrest Gump was a fucking idiot. Everybody loved him. Okay, the bottom line is you could be a fucking idiot and everybody loves you. Okay, but doesn't exclude the fact that you're a fucking idiot. That's a play that happens every fucking Sunday, and there's a reason why coaches are always... You think coaches don't show these fucking tapes to these guys? Yes, they do. Especially if it's happened to someone else on their team.
So then why are you saying that what B.J. Hill did was good, and you would have...
Because I don't think in that moment, the guy knows he fucked up. I'm not going to kick him. He knows he fucked up. He owned it. To his credit.
That's basically what I'm saying.
He owned it. He said he fucked up.
But that's
I have to be smarter. He admitted he fucked up. Well, I'm just saying, you fucked up. You cost your team your season.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, but I'm not going to go there and kick him when he's down. He knows what he did. I'm just saying I'm not giving him a pass for it 24 hours later because I've seen that.
Right, no, I'm saying I didn't give him a pass either. I think this is what happened in the guy's brain. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm saying that translation.
You're saying he's a fucking idiot.
No, I'm saying translation for what he pooped himself. That's what you're identifying. That's called the poop yourself moment, where you lose every sense of rational thought.
That's right.
Because of the moment's too big for you.
That happens.
Poop, 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 poop.
Well, you keep adding on to what I'm saying.
I didn't add on to that. That's what you said.
Because the moment's too big and you suck ass.
Is it not the AFC title game?
Yeah.
This wasn't week 3 of the preseason.
Yes.
It wasn't garbage time.
I've got to do this. You lose all faculties. Maybe you did poop your pants. You've never lost your faculties at a sporting event, apparently.
I have not at a sporting event, no.
Ever?
I think there might have been one time. I'm not sure when.
You've only pooped your pants one time.
As an adult?
18 and on.
Oh, maybe once.
Okay.
Maybe once.
Are
I'm
you
not sure when it was.
Are you counting sharts?
No, do those count?
So you've full on pooped your pants as an adult?
No, I'm saying I don't know. I think I may have. I don't remember when. I'm trying to
remember. But now you're saying sharding isn't included.
I'm asking you if it's included.
That's the only way I poop my pants as an adult.
Well, you didn't just identify as sharding, because that to me is not really pooping your pants. That's you just trusted a fart.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you full on.
Who does that outside of a baby?
I don't know. That's when you said you ever shit your pants. I'm like, I don't know.
I guess in third grade I did it. Third grade I did it.
A shard to me is not shitting your pants. That's just you trusted.
I call that shitting your pants.
Okay, well you and I have different definitions.
You tried to fart and shit came out.
No, we've cleaned shitting your pants. We know the difference. We are both dads. We've seen it up close, and the memories are horrible.
But that's when you don't know how to not shit in your pants.
All right, what you know to the point is...
So you're telling me there's adults out there just going, shitting their pants on purpose?
No, I didn't say that at all.
Then
all I'm saying is... Why are you going to twist this into something that's not?
See, now I'm doing to you what you did to me.
No, I know. That was the AFC title game. It was the biggest game of the year, the biggest moment, and that would define... Yeah, I'm not... That's what you said.
All I'm doing is telling you what you're telling me.
No.
And you're going, no.
No, you just didn't... We have two definitions of what shitting your pants is, that's all.
But my point is, adult shitting your pants... You're telling me there's adults out there that, like, push out shit into their pants on purpose.
I have no idea.
Then what are you differentiating?
I'm saying you may have had too much to drink and were trying to get to the bathroom and didn't make it. That could have happened. Actually, as a bartender, I know for a fact that happened to a couple people. So that does happen.
So that's your definition.
That's shitting your pants.
That's the only way to do it.
I didn't say that was the only way. I said that was shitting. I'm saying it's not a shart. It's a full blown.
Well,
it's a session.
I include sharts in shitting your pants. Okay,
we'll agree to disagree because I don't. Simple as that.
Ridiculous.
Not really.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Not really. There's a difference between a guy going, uh-oh, and a guy full on sprint to the fucking... There's a big difference.
There's not that much difference.
Oh, there is.
Either way, you got to change your fucking pants.
Well, you do.
And you should shower.
If it's full on, you can see the stain already. Okay. Versus a shart, you can hide it because it's not the full blown. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I hope nobody watches this.
This is how we get on this. Oh, the guy from Cincinnati pooped himself. According to him, he lost all his faculties. That would include pooping yourself.
I think that's what happened. I don't think he's an idiot that doesn't know the rules.
I think he doesn't pay attention to them.
Oh my God! Come on.
What they were gonna? Didn't a certain quarterback here have a contract signed that he would study more or wouldn't get his money? You telling me that I'm the first person that's conjured up this notion that maybe these guys don't do all their homework?
He doesn't do the homework that tells him.
I have no idea.
The out of bounds line is there,
dude. The line is so big, a blind man could see it. Right. So you tell me what happened. He failed. He lost it. No, he shit himself. He lost his faculties.
He did. He must have.
I just spin around the back of his head.
That's the only way I can.
He starts going into convulsions.
Calm yourself.
Sorry. The gridiron. So anyway, that was that nightmare.
All right, but so
and how about the extra down? Explain the extra down.
It was stupid.
I mean, the officiating, I got news for you. And as I said to him via text, and we'll get into the Celtics and the fake show later, but my father taught me when I was very young, when I lost a game on a call, he says, look, and he told the whole team this, I'm telling you right now, you got to handle your business, because if you leave the game in the hands of the officials, it's humans. Humans make errors, and it could land on your face.
Dude,
so
one of my least favorite things
No.
is when a large percentage of the conversation after a game is about the refs.
I hate it.
I fucking can't stand
I fucking hate it. But you've been looking what I've been looking at today. Even ESPN, they're talking about this. There's a section on the refs.
We were talking about it ourselves a little bit, and it's like,
I mean,
I hate talking about it because it just seems fake when people are like, oh, if it wasn't for the refs, this team would have won.
The thing is, though, that is when people. This is what was happening in the chat rooms today, everywhere across this country. They were where it was NFL, or you went to.
Are these AOL chat rooms?
No, it was the NFL Network. It was they have these chat boards, and it was the disappointment was the officials got in the way and didn't. You have said this on many occasions, and you're right. At some point, you got to put the whistle away and just let them play the game. Let them play a little bit.
Dude,
There's such a thing as too tight.
You got the 49ers going against the Philadelphia Eagles, and you're calling
and they stopped them on like 3:30.
Right.
That was another. I'm telling you, you know what the score of that game really was? It was 17-7, because the officials gave Philly 2 touchdowns. That was me, sorry. The officials gave in that game, and you agree with me, gave Philly 2 touchdowns on bad calls.
Yeah.
Okay? Ticky-tack, bullshit, and the other one was a complete drop. And that's part of the Niners coach for not. But to your point, they didn't release the replay in the stadium, so he couldn't see it. Right. And he's on the other side of the field, so he can't see it. And it's like, so how much of blame do you give him for that?
And the other thing about that play in particular is they've started doing this expedited review thing.
Yes.
Where basically, if the refs make the wrong call on the field, and it's obvious, New York beeps them and says that was wrong. And then the refs come out and they huddle. And they go, after further discussion, it was not a catch.
Yeah.
That's been happening since the playoffs started.
Yeah, well, why didn't that happen on that fucking fumble?
But here's what happened. Devontae Smith knows he didn't catch the ball. He gets up and goes, come on, come on, come on, come on.
There's a term for this, ladies and gentlemen. It's called situational awareness.
Right, and he was very aware.
He had it. The kid from the Bengals didn't.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's very good. Very
good. That's what I've been trying to spell. One guy had it. One guy didn't.
I'll give you that.
One guy's in the Super Bowl. One guy's on the golf course.
Yeah, that's true. Situational awareness.
Situational awareness is key.
Spatial awareness.
And by the way, that goes to coaching. It does. Because they're only going to have that if the coach beats it into their head.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how that happens. They hear it every fucking day. They hear it so much, they hear it in their fucking sleep. They're sick of it. So when they get in the game, they're like, I ain't fucking going to be the one to screw this up. Oh, no. He says it every day, 10 times. And they even know the count, given how many times they see the fucking guy in a given day, because he says it to them. Okay? That's what the great coaches do.
Don't hit late out of bounds. That's what you just want to keep saying? Don't you hit past the boundary.
Think about it, Tom. We saw that penalty every fucking week. Multiple games.
That's true.
So if it's the playoffs, you think this is not getting ratcheted up another notch? Because as a coach, that is your job. That is exactly your job. You got to set these guys up to be. You can't win a game for them.
But do you think it's guys like scared that somebody's going to take the sideline if they don't? Because have you ever seen somebody do that? Go towards out of bounds. And if the defender lets up, now the person decides to go straight. Are these guys scared that's going to happen? So they just.
Here's an example. In this context of what's.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Though? I do. But let me just.
But you're not going to answer it. Well, damn you.
I will.
Damn you.
I had a thought that I wanted to, because we were on this and I wanted to hit on this because we were talking about situational awareness, and this is why.
I asked you a question. You're like, hang on, I had a thought.
No, but I was thinking. Let me get this out before I forget it. Here's the thing about situational awareness. In that situation, what the linebacker should have known was A, down and distance. B, time. C, does the opponent have any timeouts? And the range. So if he knows Mahomes is at the 50-yard line when he starts scrambling and he runs about 10 yards, he's probably somewhere around the 40. If he can't see it from the sideline markers everywhere, he knows about where he is. And then as he's running, because even his peripheral vision, you can see that giant fucking cocaine line from hell that you guys call a sideline. He knows I'm standing on the sideline. If I'm standing, he's out. I can't touch him. It's a reaction thing. It's not a think about it thing. You know. You know why you know? Because you've seen that fucking tape every fucking Monday since the first week of the season when there was probably 11 of them. Okay, all the way. Literally 4 months of seeing.
We already talked about this guy.
No,
Let's talk about Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith was
Because
very.
that was heads
That's
up.
called good, smart
He
player.
instantly got up and said, come on.
Let's think about the pedigree of this kid. National champion, Alabama. Nick Saban's a fucking coach, boys and girls. He's not just a recruit. Okay? Because he coached in the NFL too. So he fucking knows. Okay? He knows what these kids got to know in terms of mentally, fundamentally, not don't beat your team. They talk about before you can win, you have to learn how not to lose. That's what that's all about. Situational awareness, because that's how you learn how not to lose. Because as we have talked about on many occasions this year, we've always said this, in the NFL more games are lost than won, and it's literally like a 3 or 4 to 1 margin. Every weekend you and I sit here on a Sunday night going, what the fuck, do you believe this? And we're arguing about shit that we're like, in the back of our minds, going, how the fuck did this guy
but the Philly game was won.
Yep.
That game was won.
They were the better team,
I know.
but it would have been nice to see Philly. And I got news for you.
They haven't been tested yet.
This was my point. That you're not getting any credit for me for beating. And look, a Giant team that had no receiver weapons whatsoever. You have to worry about passing against them. Okay, a Niners team that started their third string quarterback, and ended up with their fourth string
But
quarterback.
their third string quarterback was fucking good.
He was good because they were playing from the lead. They won 11 in a row. They were rarely trailed. And they were saying, what's going to happen when this kid gets...
Good, though.
They were saying it all pro-season.
But look what happened when Josh Johnson came in.
You let me finish my sentence?
Purdy was good.
I'm saying the question wasn't that he was good. He was good. They were saying, what's going to happen when he faces adversity, when he gets down a score or two? He's never been in that situation. How's he going to... Now, to his...
We never got
to find out. That's the point. We don't know. But the thing is, he's still a third string quarterback.
Yeah, but he was playing good.
He was playing good. And he was 4 for 4 when he got hit.
Shanahan didn't protect him.
No, he didn't.
Which is the crime of it. You got to be smart.
Is it possible that Mike Shanahan, not as an offensive coordinator, that's where he made his bones, but as a head coach is overrated?
No, it's possible everybody's overrated.
Well, I think given what you just said, and you weren't the first person today to say what you just said, you're about the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay? That would mean that that's probably true. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't watch the NFC West that much.
No, but you watch football.
I watch football. No, I'm just saying, I don't know if that happens a lot, but to go into a playoff game when the freaking strength of this team is
pass
the
rush.
Defensive line and the fact that they have sacked more
70
freaking quarterbacks than you can
sacks.
count. And like Hassan Reddick, the lead sacker, is running free to the quarterback.
One-on-one.
Sometimes not blocked.
Yeah, guys that can't. Yeah, they're moving him around. They're not picking him up in terms of their protection, pass coverage. So
that was a shame because Niner defense.
pass blocking scheme is what I meant to say. Sorry. No,
Niner defense kept them in the game.
They did. The Niners defense played out
as long as they could.
Eventually, the dam broke because once the opponent knows you can't throw, it's over.
Well, and it was just like one thing. It was okay. So you have the Devontae Smith catch,
which wasn't a catch.
Then Purdy goes out on the very next drive.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
but it was still only 7-0.
It was still only 7-0.
It went another quarter. Then Sam ran on that awesome McCaffrey. How good was that run, by the way?
It was amazing.
That was one of the best runs you'll ever see.
Yeah, it showed you why he's the highest paid
That dude is a stud.
But so you had that. Then you had that one drive where it was they would get him to 3rd and long. They'd stop him. Mm-hmm. Penalty.
Yeah.
Penalty. Get him to third and medium. Stop him.
Penalty. Yep.
And again, and all of a sudden they had 6 penalties before the end of the first half, and you could just see the guys. They're like, Josh Johnson then fumbles the ball. It's like they couldn't do any more than they had done. It was over at that. They all looked like, what the fuck did we do to deserve this?
Well, this is the thing. It's bad. This is just bad. And this is why. And again, the third string guy got him there. So it wasn't a question of these guys didn't have quarterback depth. They had 3 fucking quarterbacks. All 3 got knocked out. What the fuck at some point, and this I was almost
4
laughing.
4 got knocked out.
Yeah, 4. I'm sorry, 4. That was the
Johnson never came back.
Yeah.
Purdy comes back in and can't throw the ball.
He can't throw the ball. He threw one pass. It was a screen pass.
Dude, did you get the video of McCaffrey throwing that pass? You didn't watch it.
Yeah, I did. Why?
No, you didn't.
Why?
Because there wasn't a video of that.
There wasn't a video. I saw a pass that he threw.
It was a video.
Yeah.
No, but remember,
I'm not that stuff.
Remember when I said? Remember when I said to you during the game? I go, why don't they have McCaffrey at quarterback? And you go, maybe McCaffrey's not a good quarterback.
Maybe I said maybe he can't throw or he'd be a quarterback.
I was like, he's got to be better than Purdy with no arm. But then I guess he did make a throw.
Then you saw the throw, and you're like,
it was terrible.
Ew, it would have been a slight oversight.
But like, it's just so funny that I would just assume that because McCaffrey's a good running back, he could just start hiking the ball and run the offense.
Right, isn't it? He's that good.
And like, that's so nonchalant. I mean, you play defensive back, just quarterback.
I mean, if it's
not how it works.
Not usually, no. But here's the thing.
So disappointing that's what that game came down to.
All right, here's the deal.
And I hated watching Philly celebrate because it was almost like...
Here's the deal.
You played against that, but they caused it. They're the ones that hurt Purdy.
Good officiating is you are seen but not heard. Doesn't mean you don't call any fouls. But a good officiator, I've heard them do that. I've actually seen this happen, where they call in the captain. All right, here's what we're going to let go. Here's what we're going to look for. They would warn them what they could and couldn't do. That's good officiating crew right there. So you do this, I'll let that go. You do this, I'm going to call it. Okay, because I understand. A lot of these guys played the game and stuff. They understand what these guys do. All right, that one I'll let go. But you do this, I'm throwing the flag, just so you know. Good officiating. I've heard them say that before in all sports. I've heard this happen. They let you know what you're going to call it. I've never seen it in baseball, but I mean, it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I've never seen it. But the point is that the good officiating crew will tell the guys, look, here's what we're going to call. Here's what we're going to let slide. And if you're doing that, I'll let it go. But if you do this, I'm calling it. So it's set, and both teams know it because they tell both teams. So it's no advantage. They know how to. So they tell them how you can.
Talking about?
I'm saying the officiating this weekend was heard.
Oh.
Heard like a motherfucker. Okay, here's the deal. The visiting teams should be pissed this morning. San Fran, 11 penalties. San Fran's not even close to the most penalized team in the league. Cincinnati, 10 penalties. Are you fucking kidding me? Neither one was in the top 10 in penalties all year. But now, what does that look like to you?
Highly penalized.
I got news for you. And they don't have a track record for being teams like. There are teams that are like that. You get it because they do it all fucking. These two don't know.
You think that the officiating basically turned the tide for those teams?
No, the San Fran game, it was the quarterback going down, but the officials did if he stayed healthy, I might have, because the officials did give Philly 2 touchdowns. Basically, they did. Okay, so and in terms
but the second one we're arguing about the penalties, you could argue that those were penalties. They were just so goddamn
ticky-tack. And these are the things that good officiating crews look. If you do that, I'm not going to eat your lunch for that. I'll let that one go. But you do this.
If some guy puts a move on you and your arm, and you kind of bang him with your arm, that's not holding.
No, if there's incidental contact with you, and a good official, then he's not trying to grab it.
Slightly more
if
than
you grab his
incidental.
arm though and you hook it, you're calling that.
But not incidental. But I'm talking about when a guy cuts the other way on you and you put your arm on him. Immediately, that is not holding.
Let me keep this.
You can battle a little bit as a corner.
Let me keep this very simple, because what I always believe, you have something to say that you think simplifies so everyone can understand. I mean, here's the thing: football is a collision sport. There is no way in a collision sport, which is 11 on 11, that you are not going to have incidental contact on every fucking play.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking collision sport. Okay. There are 9 guys guaranteed. At the second the ball snaps, there's going to be 9 collisions. Those are guaranteed before anything else fucking happens. Okay, that's on every fucking play. Okay, and if it's a 4 or a 5 and they're blitzing, then it's going to be 10 or 11 guys guaranteed before the second the ball snaps. Contact.
But even beyond incidental,
I'm saying,
you got to let the guys push and shove a little bit on the fucking route.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, what the hell? You can't just let a receiver just. You're just following him around? No, you guys are going to be.
No, you have to establish positions like in basketball. You establish if he comes in and bumps into you, he can't go into your
receivers
space.
are going to push you. Yeah. You're going to push receivers.
It's called hand fighting. Hand fighting. I played receiver. It happened all the fucking time. They never called it.
And when good defenses are playing, like the 49ers, you've got to they know how to play defense.
They wouldn't
let them play.
Yeah. But that's the bottom line. Be seen, not heard.
But the Niners wouldn't have won that game anyway.
No, it would have been 17-7. Which would have been a game, though. This thing was over at halftime. The bottom line is, okay, good officiating crews are seen, not heard. One team had 11 penalties. The other team had 10. Neither one, that's not who they are. It's not. I've looked at their stats. Neither of them's in the top 10 or even the top 14 in penalties called. So they don't get a lot of double-digit penalty games. They might have had one all fucking season.
Dude, did you see the taunting penalty that the one guy got?
Yeah.
That was weak. Come on.
It was weak sauce.
That was against the Chiefs.
This is what I'm talking about, though.
That was against the Chiefs.
I know, but I'm just saying this is the kind of shit you don't call that one either.
No, it's like.
But the thing that this is the impact. BC, not her. These assholes had an impact this game. Now, whether it was premeditated or not, that you can have that debate for another day. But the bottom line is, when the two road teams have 21 penalties between them, and they don't have a track record for that, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I'm not saying that it's rigged. I'm saying
what are you
right.
saying?
I'm just saying that the officials need to do a better job.
Okay.
I don't know what the motive is behind it. I'm saying
so you
that
think
stinks.
there could be a motive?
I don't know. I can't speak. I can't.
I'm asking you what you think, not what you know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you're kind of like hinting at.
I'm saying
something ain't right.
Is it possible? Yes. How do I know that? The Sacramento game against the Lakers with a guy, the ref shaved the points and he got caught. So if that guy got caught, you're telling me that that's never happened in other places? Of course
so you think that could have happened the other night?
All I said, it's a possibility. There was a lot of money in Vegas this weekend. It is a conference championship with a lot, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars were going like this. And it was. It's true. So how much of that?
They buzz into the refs and they're like, you better get them in field goal range, God damn it.
I don't
Roughing
know.
The passer.
I know the guy's name was Donaghy. Okay, he was an official, NBA official,
Tim?
and I don't know if it was Tim, but it was Donaghy. He was his last name, and he got busted. He got caught.
Tim Donaghy.
He got caught. Okay, the bottom line is, if they caught one, there's more than one that have done it.
You heard it here, conspiracy theorists.
I'm saying anything.
The fix is in.
I didn't say that. You said that. I said anything's possible.
You're talking about a ref who fixed games.
That was that guy. That actually happened. I'm talking about this Sunday. I don't know what happened, but I know this.
I don't think that happened.
I don't know that it happened. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm saying I don't know. But I'm saying is those penalties, and a lot of them you said it yourself. You were watching the game with me. A lot of that crap was crap. It was crap.
In the Philly.
Yeah.
Right, but they didn't change the outcome of that game.
I'm not. That doesn't. The point is that first of all, if you telling me it didn't affect the outcome. By the way, every time they call on those stupid penalties, they're going to stay on the field longer.
But we both agreed that San Fran was not winning that game. Purdy was out.
I'm saying I don't think they would have won it, but I don't know that. Here's what I do know: if every time this team's getting off the field, you're keeping them back on because of a ticky-tack penalty, you're wearing them out. That's what I do know against a team that loves to run the football, the worst kind of team.
I mean, also, they got Josh Johnson out there. Then they got hurt Purdy, so definitely.
I'm saying there was more than one factor.
You want to make the argument
There's more than one factor here.
You want to make the argument that the fix was in. Tell me it was about the Kansas City game, not the Eagles game.
I don't know the fix was in either game. The refs may have just had a bad game.
That's what I think.
Well, they picked it. That's supposed to. Here's the problem. Okay, you can't just they had a bad day. No. These officiating crews, for verbatim now, these are the two best officiating crews in the entire fucking NFL. You know why? Because they don't have a fucking bad day. That's why. They get them right most of the time. They're the most accurate.
Right, so
they don't have a bad
day.
In. I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying it's not that though.
But what else could it be outside of the fix then? That's all I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know.
Because I don't think it's a fix.
I don't think it's a fix. There's too many things that you have
to... Burrow would have been great.
I mean, look, did the refs fix Purdy getting hurt? No. Did the refs fit? No. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But those things can contribute. They can be a factor. They are. I'm not saying they're the main factor. That factors into your game.
The fix?
No, I'm saying if the refs call those ticky-tack penalties, whether there's an ulterior motive or not.
Oh, well, we both agree on that.
Yeah, so I'm not saying this could have just happened. And there might not be anything behind it. I'm just saying that these guys saying they just had a bad day when they get paid, that those guys were there to not have a bad day.
No doubt.
Because they don't have them. So now suddenly 2 games in a row, and the KC game was worse.
But to me, it's like, who would want that? Because it's bad for the NFL.
I don't know. Well, you know what, though? Here's the problem. The NFL is this country's cocaine. Mm-hmm. Okay? Literally. It's this, no matter what the fuck happens on set, you know what's going to happen 2 weeks from now? Everybody's going to fucking watch that game. Everybody's going to fucking watch that game. Or they're going to place a bet on it. No matter what. So the NFL can again, maybe the NFL didn't know about it.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
The NFL.
The NBA didn't know about Donaghy. The front of the office didn't know about him.
Yeah, but
when they found out, they fired him.
I don't know that gambling is the same when it comes to.
You think a ref can't go place a bet and with under a different name and they won't?
No. So this is what I'm saying. Of course, that could totally happen.
Of course, it can happen.
But my thing is, I think the NFL is powerful enough and rich enough to understand that gambling is the reason they are so successful.
It is, but here's the thing.
But hold on, let me finish. Gambling is the reason they are so successful. And the only thing that could ever really, I think, keep the NFL from growing and being the organization
Is if it becomes WWF.
Is if
WWE.
if the fix is really in.
I agree.
And people find out about it. So
I agree.
I think because they're so invested in making sure that doesn't happen, it couldn't happen. Which I know is naive, but I don't.
You don't know what one individual official is going to do.
That's true.
You'd have no
That's
idea.
true.
You can't keep tabs on them. You have no idea what
I
they're
agree.
going to do.
But for
And again, I'm not saying.
But for two crews to be fixed, I
don't know. All it takes is one guy on that crew.
I'm just saying. I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm just saying I don't think so.
Okay. I'm saying I don't know. I'm not saying it didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm saying it was awfully fishy. Some of these ticky-tack calls on these caliber of teams in that type of a game.
Could I have
what?
Could I have a DP?
Yeah. Oh yeah, DP. Yeah, shame.
DPCS.
We'll talk about the Super Bowl.
What else should we talk about with these games? I don't think. I think like
the overwhelming disappointment was that these games were not. They didn't just let the players decide. That was.
I was so disappointed when Purdy went down because
oh my God, he was unbearable.
I was just like,
they should go home.
Just leave.
Get on the plane. Back up the truck.
Well, because I knew the game couldn't live up to what we thought it was going to be.
Unless the Niners had won with a fourth string quarterback.
That would have
been a storyline.
And I said that a couple times. As soon as he went out, I said, man, imagine if they lost with Josh Johnson quarterbacking against them.
And I didn't know who the hell Josh Johnson was. I don't remember ever hearing about him.
I knew him because he was a backup for Washington.
Okay, that's
at one point. So I recognized his name because I remember DJ saying, "Who was that guy that was our second stringer, third stringer one year?"
Yeah, I mean, when he was here, I was probably not even living here yet. I was probably up in Massachusetts still.
Dude, the crazy part is, he engineered a scoring drive.
He did,
and he didn't look terrible.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like it was like, all right, like
he has weapons around him.
He made a couple passes. And,
he didn't look terrible.
And then
that's why that fumble was so surprising. I'm like, what the fuck was that? That was the first play. He really looked terrible. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I don't know if he had gotten hit, but I think that was like pretty early in a drive when he did it.
They were at midfield.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was like a 3rd and 3 or 2, and they'd gotten a first down. He looked like they were starting to make some momentum, and it was 14-7. Yeah. Well, okay, they could not get. We were saying just get a field goal going at the half, 14-10. They're okay because they get the ball first, and then they're like, all right, getting third. It was like 4, and all of a sudden that turned into 2 touchdowns in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
literally.
And that's how the Eagles hit you.
Yeah, that's how they hit you.
And the problem with an offense like that, if you give it a short field, you are toast.
You're toast. You can't give those guys a short field.
You are toast because they could go 80 on you easy, but if you give them 40,
when they had to go 80 on the Niners, they really only did it once.
Yeah. Well, they only had to do it once.
I know, but it's because of the turnover. I'm saying, but
you're right. There was a few possessions in that first quarter where they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. They had to think the Niners backed them up.
Mm-hmm.
They almost got a safety on one fucking play when it was 7-7. Actually,
that's when the Niners finally flipped the field.
Yeah,
and the Niners were able to get a short field, and that's why Johnson let them do a scoring drive.
I mean, but actually, was it a short field?
Yeah, because remember they backed them up onto the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And they had to punt from the end zone.
Oh, so they got
they got it like the 45 or 50. Remember we were yelling at the returner. We were like, run up and catch that ball. But he let it drop.
Actually, he got it on the other side because he let it bounce.
He ran backwards, then he had to come up. So I think he ended up on
he should have been inside the 5-yard line if he'd, to your point,
caught it at the 46-yard line.
Running.
And just, you get nailed, you get nailed.
Yeah, but if one guy misses you.
You're on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it's like... So, but yeah, no, I remember that, and then they were moving the ball on that next drive because that's when Philly came down and scored the next one, and that was the drive where there was the 3 fucking penalties in a row on 3rd down when the Niners had momentum, and all of a sudden, beep, beep,
so it was
and
that
every
drive
replay.
They made it 14-7.
That was the drive, and
then he had the fumble.
Yeah, they got to midfield. They had they got 2 first downs, and then it happened to midfield.
That sucks. He wasn't playing bad.
No, he wasn't, and the bottom line was that fucking previous drive. those 3 fucking
Right,
ridiculous
those were-
penalties. And they kept going to the Niners coach, and he's fucking livid. He's throwing his ass.
Well,
and he should have been.
Well, here's the thing.
He's like, what the fuck you calling? What, are you serious?
Right. If only one of those calls happens,
Different.
they hold him to a field goal.
Or maybe even further.
And it's
Because
10-7.
the first 2, they were not in field goal range yet.
Right.
They were over. One was over the 50, and one was just on the other side of the 50, where they had 3 downs.
Well, there was that hands to the face call on one of the defensive lines.
And the guy was holding him.
And Kelsey's bear hugging him.
He's holding him, and the replay is showing the hold.
pulling his jersey.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, hands to the
And
face.
his
Like,
hands
well,
to the
maybe you
face.
should
It's
stop
like,
holding him.
okay, how about offsetting penalties or a no call?
Or no call. It's one or the other. It's not, oh no.
Because, dude, you know how many times a defensive lineman gets right under a guy's chin?
Sure.
Now that one, he had his hands on his face.
Yeah, but you know how many times an offensive lineman holds? This, he had him in a
play.
fucking bear hug.
Every
but usually
play.
it's up under the shoulder pads. This was a full-blown
around
bear
it.
hug.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
around it.
this was like too obvious. Like, he's holding him.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you see it, that's the first thing you think of. You didn't even see the hand in the face. You're just seeing this bear hug.
Yeah.
Like, well, he's fucking holding him.
But then they kept calling the defensive holding in the secondary.
The second one where they just switched positions on the out run, and he bumped him. He didn't even grab him, and they called
he hit
that.
him with his arm.
He hit him with his arm. He didn't grab him. I'm like, you're calling that. That's incidental contact.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fucking bullshit. And the ball wasn't in the air. It
couple
wasn't
bad
like, that's
ones.
fucking ridiculous. I was like, that's bullshit.
And
But the thing-
and what was worse is because the line was keeping him in the pocket, it was like 6 seconds.
Yeah, he had time.
And to me, I think you almost have to be a little more lenient as a referee.
Backside.
When they're running
Yeah.
around for
Yeah.
6 seconds, don't give me some bullshit
Yeah.
that he touched him.
As a backfield judge.
Because everybody's running around frantically
At that
because
point.
nobody's on routes anymore.
No, it's a broken play.
Yeah, and it's like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
Like, you got these corners out, and they're covering their ass off.
They are. For 5
Because
seconds.
there's a little tugging.
Yeah, it's like, come on. No, it's true. And I'm
sorry.
like, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. They were heard and not
Right.
seen.
You're totally right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the fix was in. I don't know. I'm just saying that when the 2 visiting teams, one gets 11, one gets 10, that looks bad.
Yeah.
And both teams, and neither one of them, again, was in the top 10 or 14, I think, in penalties that year. So they don't even have a track record for doing this. That looks even worse. So, again, a lot of factors determine these games, but the refs were, that was everybody kept, the fucking refs. I heard that one. Just get out of the way. A lot of them were saying verbatim, why don't they fucking let them play? It's the fucking championship.
Yeah.
If you're going to let them fucking play, when you let them play, this isn't fucking
And again, when you get good physical defenses,
let them play.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. They're not going to do something that's going to...
Somebody goes crazy in helmets to helmet, somebody, okay, you call it.
You call the obvious ones, but you don't call the ticky-tack shit. That can happen because they're both running hard as they can, and they got to stop on a dime. That's bullshit. That's what I'm talking about.
It's like the 93 Knicks are playing the Bulls, and you're calling, it's like...
You could pick that series, or the Miami and the Miami Heat and the Knicks. They were physical. Chicago and Detroit, oh my God, in the 90s, in the early 90s and the late 80s. Oh my, Celtics, Detroit, that was a bloodbath. Okay, that was the Boston.
Well, that was too much.
Bloodbath.
That was football.
There was 2 fist fights in that series.
Yeah, that was hard.
Bird and Lambert in Paris.
That might be harder than football right now.
I'll tell you
The way
right
they
now.
used to play.
The reason people love Larry Bird so much is because if you watch the games he played, people would, the shit they would do to him, they would try to do to him, and he wouldn't complain. He just, not like what fucking LeBitch did the other night.
Who'd he hit the guy? Who'd he hit the guy when they were on the ground and he turns around?
That was Lambert. Lambert clotheslines him, almost breaks his back.
Right.
Bird goes down and turns around, bam, hits him in the face.
So let me just say something.
But
I'm not a big Larry Bird lover.
No shit.
Okay.
No shit.
But I love him for that. Because Bill Lambert, goddamn, that dude was just, he was a villain. Lambert was a straight up
when
villain.
people talk about all-around player, the conversation should start with Larry Bird. Because
Okay,
honestly,
don't start this. We're not going, we're talking football.
We are, but it should.
We'll
get into
start romanticizing about Larry Bird.
That's true.
Even though I named my dog after Larry Bird.
I thought you didn't like him.
Okay, so quick story. I grew up with a dachshund mixed with a beagle, chunky little guy. We were trying to name him, and my sister said, let's call him Bird. And I was like, Bird? And I was like, what about Larry? And everybody was like, yeah, Larry, because Bird made me think Larry Bird. So then he became Larry Bob Izzo.
Larry
My
Bird,
dog. Chunky little dachshund. Love that dog.
but not Larry Bird.
No, I
Who
know.
he's named after.
No. I mean, by the time I was watching basketball, he was laying on the sidelines,
It was the end of his
icing his
career.
back. He,
Yeah.
he was still good.
He wasn't what
but
he
he couldn't
was.
play more than 20 minutes or whatever it was.
Last time Burr was Dominique 88. That duel was epic.
I was 6, and I wasn't really watching
Yeah, that
TV
was
back then.
epic. That's still the greatest fundamental versus street ball episode you'll ever see. But anyway, back to football. So anyway, Mr. Spillage over here,
Oh, I dropped my cigar.
going to set himself on fire.
It's a little numb. but I'm still
Refs,
holding on.
future reference, be seen, not heard.
Anything else you want to call out from these games? Burrow throwing 2 picks, surprising.
The second one was worse.
Well,
Yeah, the first one he got hit or something. It was the
I
second
don't know.
one.
The first one might have been worse. The second one was a great play. The guy smacked the ball up. No,
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking of the first one.
mean, it
Yeah,
wasn't
I'm
a
thinking-
great
Yeah, no, the
pass.
one I forgot the one that was tipped. The first one is the one I'm thinking of where he threw it too soon. The guy wasn't even out of his route yet.
Yeah.
Because of the blitz, he threw it. He should have just thrown it away
Yeah.
at that point. And normally he does.
well, Chris
That was-
Jones had something to do
Well,
with
Chris
all that.
Jones to me was the MVP of that game, not Patrick Mahomes. Chris
Oh,
Jones
Mahomes got the MVP?
Of course he does. He gets it every time. And everybody's sitting there, and I swear to God, if I hear this one more fucking time, my God, the man's outstanding. They talk about him like we've never seen him before. Have you seen this guy?
No, you don't like
You should
that.
check him out.
Okay, but I
You
got to
should check
give
him
him
out.
props on this. He had a high ankle sprain, and you saying he got shot up?
Needle.
Yeah, that's
Never
fine.
felt it. Never felt it.
I don't agree with that.
Never felt it.
He was hobbling in the second
Hobbling
half.
is one thing. Hobbling going, fuck, is another.
Oh, yeah. No, but you could see he couldn't put a ton of weight on that foot. And when he busted his ass
did
to
on
get
that last
first
play,
down-
didn't he?
Yes.
Interesting. And at the end of the game, he was able to do that. He was probably always able
You
to
can
do it.
push it.
He
You
picked
can
his
push
spots.
it.
No, he picked his spots.
Yeah.
That's smart.
I give him a lot of credit.
But Chris, look at the reason they couldn't beat them the last 3 times was because Joe Burrow, when it mattered, was able to go take his team down the field. And this motherfucker, this dude who you were calling, to your credit, you're the one who kept calling this guy out, saying he was a stud, he was a
Chris
stud.
Jones.
Yeah, you had been the one calling him out.
I was calling him that
He
first
was.
game.
He. Look this way. Dare I say it? That was an Aaron Donald performance yesterday.
Yeah, I heard
It
somebody
really
say
was.
that.
It really was.
Somebody said it reminded them of Aaron
If you
Donald
think
in the Super Bowl.
he did it to him, it was
against Burrow.
literally, and this is on cue, when they had to stop him, he gets around the edge and gets a sack. Okay? This dude changed the game like a Von Miller was supposed to change the game for Buffalo. That's what this dude has done.
Chris Jones was the big
Chris
dude out
Jones
there.
was the big dog on Sunday. He was the one that won that game. Okay, look, no one said Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to play well. They were just questioning what's his ceiling, what can he do. No one thought he was going to go out there and stink. For a second, no one thought that because he's always put up good numbers.
But
against
I
these guys.
thought Cincy's line would have given him. I mean,
They didn't blitz.
they
Rex
got to
Ryan,
him, but-
to his credit, I usually know Rex was right about this. He went back over I think 4 or 5 plays where it was a passage and they didn't blitz this kid when they knew he couldn't or to test the leg, and he was right. We didn't think about it during the game, but Cincy really didn't blitz him that much.
Yeah.
They kept
they
rushing
sacked him a
for-
couple times.
a
Though,
couple,
right?
but they were coverage sacks.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah, they
didn't.
should have really
They
tried to
never.
exploit
They
that.
never. Rex Ryan was like, we'd have been blitzing him on first fucking down.
Well, remember how they
to
blitzed
make him
Buffalo?
run? Yes,
They
they
looked-
did.
yeah.
And this guy could move. So like, this guy's a sitting duck apparently. Why aren't you blitzing
Maybe
him?
they were scared of Kelsey. I don't know. I mean, Kelsey still got off on him.
Yeah, and they didn't blitz.
And that's the other thing. Then you had Hardman go down. Juju went down, right? And didn't another person go down?
The dude that caught the, what the hell was he? He had 2 last names.
Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, him.
He became their number
Who the
one.
fuck is that guy?
Well, remember he was a Green Bay receiver. They let him go last year.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Valdez Scantling.
That's who he was.
I think he had a couple drops with Aaron, and God forbid you drop an Aaron Rodgers
That's
pass.
not. We're not talking about him. No,
you're
not talking about
shunned.
him. Aaron Rodgers does not belong on this show. He's a scab. Okay, I don't hear it. I'm not talking about his
I'd love
career.
to see the Jets get him. I would love that.
So would I. So when he implodes again, that'd be even fucking better. Okay, because
I'd like to see the Jets, man.
if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets still ain't winning the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm not saying that.
They won't
But
win.
I like.
But that's why you make that.
I
move.
like seeing the Jets in the playoffs.
If you're going to give up 2 first-round picks, you're doing it to win a Super Bowl for a 38-year-old quarterback.
Yeah.
This is a now thing.
That's crazy. You got to pay him $50 million and give up 2 first rounds.
$59 million next year is his
Fuck
cap
that.
hit.
No, 2 first rounders is ridiculous.
for a 38.
I'll give you.
Look, man, I'll give you one.
I'll give you a first and a two.
Yeah.
1 and a 2, maybe.
Yeah.
1 and a 3.
1 and a 3, I would do for Aaron Brady.
Because I got to pay him $50 million a year.
But 2 1s?
Nah.
And maybe players too. Who the fuck knows? But the thing is, if the Jets do that, they have to win the Super Bowl.
Right. You're right.
Or it's a bust.
Yeah.
It's a bust. And the last thing the New York Jets need right now is another fucking bust.
Yeah. They've been busting on quarterbacks.
They've been missing. How many quarterbacks have they drafted wrong now in a row? I mean, what, 2, 3? 3? Is it 3 now? It was this kid. It was Donald.
They drafted Geno.
Yep.
They drafted Sam Darnold.
And then him, right?
They drafted
That's 3 in a row.
Zach Wilson.
Yep. Him.
I mean, Sanchez was good, and then all of a
He
sudden
was. And
then I don't know if the team fell off.
He got the 2 AFC Championship games. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was good for them.
He wasn't great, but he was good.
But then I think the talent on the team started coming back.
Yeah.
And he wasn't good enough to
Not that time, no.
No.
But the bottom line is, we're not talking about Aaron Rodgers anymore because he's not on this segment. He wasn't playing. He's not going to be playing, and who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, in any event, we will talk about, we're going to come back, segment 2. We're going to go find Yoda real quick. Perhaps Joe Boo's going to come with us. You guys grab a frothel or something tasty, succulent, delicious. We'll be back on the other side real quick. Segment 2, we're going to talk hoops. We have to talk about a certain guy over a certain call in a certain building.
I can't believe we're wasting time on this.
Oh, no. You're going to want to waste time on this. We'll see you on the other side.